Hey y'all, welcome back to Long Story Shorts. I'm Morgan Young, and this is where we are getting into the headlines taking over your social media feeds and making it so easy for you, you don't even have to swipe. We had some big headlines this week, including the story of a dentist accused of treating a child while intoxicated and fires raging in the Texas Panhandle. But first, we have a traffic alert that we need to tell you about over the weekend.
If you use the Dallas North Tollway in Addison, your weekend commute could look very different. Northbound lanes at Keller Springs will shut down Sunday morning from 5 until 8 a.m. for road work. That means if you're heading toward Plano or Frisco early for church, sports, or a morning trip, you won't be able to get through at Keller Springs. All traffic will be forced off of the tollway and onto Dallas Parkway. So expect major delays around that exit as drivers all try to merge at the same time. If you can, consider leaving later Sunday morning or using Preston Road as an alternate route to avoid the traffic. Again, northbound Dallas North Tollway at Keller Springs closed 5 to 8 a.m. Sunday in Addison for road work with traffic diverted to Dallas Parkway.
Benjamin Schroeder is a well-known figure skating coach in North Texas, but right now, he's facing serious charges.
I'm sad to see another coach who is alleged to have done these things to children and athletes.
Allen police say two of his athletes came forward with allegations that he had an inappropriate relationship with them. Investigators believe for one athlete, the assault started when the skater was a minor. Michelle Simpson-Teagle is an attorney who's represented countless athlete survivors, including those in the Larry Nassar case involving gymnasts.
It's a person that they trusted and that they usually spend a lot of time with, these coaches.
Police say a report was made on Sunday and they arrested the coach days later. He's currently charged with indecency with a child and sexual assault. He coached with the Dallas Figure Skating Club that uses the Allen Event Center's ice rink for practice. They said in a statement in part, "The safety and welfare of children is our top priority." Later saying, quote, "If you have information that may be relevant, or if you have concerns about a child who may have been in contact with this coach, please contact Allen Police Department directly for guidance and assistance."
Usually in these cases where there's two, there are more. I hope that's not the case, but my experience tells me that it will be.
The club also stated it doesn't hire, employ, or supervise coaches. All coaches who provide private lessons are independent and make arrangements directly with the family. But Teagle says there should be more accountability.
Protecting kids should be more important than reputations.
In Allen, I'm Richard Solomon.
There's a proposal to overhaul the permitting process for bars, restaurants, and clubs in the city of Dallas. And you might remember why this is happening. Last fall, some very popular businesses got ticket-like citations. A new nighttime code compliance team was trying to crack down on crime, but ended up issuing violations to beloved restaurants and clubs. The code said establishments that have restaurant licenses cannot charge cover for live music. It really created chaos and confusion. City Council member Chad West suggested a task force go to work to modernize city code. That task force worked fast, and Wednesday night they unveiled a proposal to the public for the very first time. It would overhaul the permitting process, with permits being granted for clear categories based on capacity, operating hours, usage, so a dance club faces different rules than live piano. There was mixed reaction among venue owners, some uncertain if this means more regulation or less. The plan is not finished. They are going to tweak it based on input. Most people, though, are happy that change has actually started.
Monday, officers were called to a pediatric dental office in Sherman after a parent reported the dentist seemed impaired while performing oral surgery. According to a search warrant affidavit, a dental technician observed behavior that led her to believe 36-year-old Kelly Buck was intoxicated, so the technician stopped the surgery. Court records say officers noticed Buck had slurred speech and dilated pupils. She was arrested for allegedly performing surgery while intoxicated, a state jail felony punishable by up to 2 years in jail. Police say Buck was not an employee of the office, but was working there temporarily through a staffing agency. In a phone interview, Buck told me she was not intoxicated, and she said that the whole case against her was absurd and she planned on fighting it, and that in the meantime it was doing irreparable damage to her career. She also told us that she had offered to take a breathalyzer and that police had refused. According to the warrant, Buck would not consent to a blood draw, so that's why they got a warrant for her blood. She has been released from the Grayson County Jail on $10,000 bond, and she's been licensed in Texas since 2016 as a dentist and has no publicly available disciplinary history.
Every prayer has a purpose. That's why Muhammad Hingora came here to Oak Point Park before sunrise Sunday morning.
It's called Baraka Breakfast, and so they timed it right before our holy month of Ramadan.
About 50 students with the University of Texas at Dallas held this sacred moment for those observing Islam. But shortly after it started,
disgusting fake religion,
that peace was broken.
For a second, I'm just standing there looking at it. I'm like, this cannot be a real moment right now.
Muhammad says he recorded this video of a man, not with the group, who walked up and started yelling towards them.
This guy with a GoPro strapped to his chest, he has his phone on, he's wearing a hoodie with some derogatory things about Islam and everything.
So when I saw it, I thought it was just, it was sad in a way.
Mustafa Carroll is the executive director for the Council on American Islamic Relations, DFW. He says this situation is troubling. Plano police say they've been made aware of the video and situation, but Carroll wants city leaders to condemn the behavior.
My concern is that if somebody does that, then what's next? Sick and disgusting religion.
Muhammad says no one reacted. They just kept praying.
I can't fathom someone having that much hatred in their heart towards another individual.
And he hopes this message reaches others.
We just have to be kinder to each other.
How do you know it's the election season? Well, the campaign signs are out. It's the slow march to the March primary. All right, we are inside the elections offices here in Collin County, inside a massive warehouse where you'll see a lot of the voting booths. These all will be going out to polling locations. Again, remember, early voting starts on Tuesday. Collin County has 36 early voting locations and 86 election day voting locations. The county uses hand-marked paper ballots. That's something that the Commissioner's Court voted on in 2025. This will be the first primary election since the move to hand-marked paper ballots here in Collin County. So what's different? Well, normally you have to verbalize which party's election you want to vote in, whether the Republican election or the Democrat election in the primaries. Well, now you can choose that on a tablet. We did ask the elections administrator, Caleb Rowe, about some changes that the President Trump is hoping to enact. One is widespread voter ID. Caleb says Texas already has a voter ID requirement for all its voting. We also asked about the elimination of mail-in voting. That's something that's been an idea floated by President Trump. The county has made no decision on mail-in voting here in Collin County.
With the primaries in full swing, there's 3 Democrats gunning for the Texas House 30th District congressional seat. Hear from Rodney LaBruce, Dr. Frederick Haynes III, and Barbara Mallory Caraway on affordability and poverty.
You have your state legislators who come up with a budget as well in working with local entities to make sure that we can address poverty, income inequality, health care, as well as education. People should be able to live and to work and have what the Constitution guaranteed you, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Economic security is a real issue that too many, Texans face, but especially District 30 residents face. And so if 30 is going to thrive, we have to make sure that it's affordable. We have to make sure that wages go up and that we freeze the cost of living.
We have made the mistake of pretending like these things are in silos, like they operate on their own individual island. But when you look at them, they operate all together. So we really have to make the focused effort when we make an attempt to solve these issues to really go after the root causes. And that's why I'm making it my point to go after poverty.
Let's get to some sports stories now. Our Jonah Javad recently sat down with Super Bowl star and Rockwall's own Jackson Smith-Njigba.
What would 15-year-old Jackson, who kind of grew up around this area, think of the one standing or sitting here before us?
I do think he would be in awe, but you know, this is what I've envisioned since I was a 15-year-old, you know, here in Rockwall. This is what I've wanted, what I prayed for, and, you know, I think there would be a big smile on that kid's face. My development here as a person and as a player is the reason why I'm sitting here today, and I think we have a lot of great young people here, young men and young women that are going to do great things, and for me to have a hand in that, I think is very important, because people that are from this community have helped me get to where I've wanted to go. So I just think it's my time to do my part and to give back and to be here for these people.
Seasons like the one you just had are seasons that some people look back on maybe 20 years from now, and that was the start of like a Hall of Fame type career. Do you let your mind ever think about Canton and possibly being there one day?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I work to be the best, you know. And everywhere I've gone, in high school, in college, you know, I've felt like I've done Gold Jacket stuff. So that's just what I'm chasing now, you know, in NFL. And I understand it's a day-by-day routine, but why not? You know, I feel like my abilities and the people that I'm around can, you know, allow me to get there. So that is a dream that I'm pursuing.
So 1 year left on your rookie contract, and you got fifth-year option. Do you want to get an extension done this offseason? And if so, how badly do you want to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL?
Yeah, I'm really not too pressed right now to get it done. I know my time is coming, and when we get it done, it's going to be a great deal. And, you know, God's timing's perfect timing. So whenever that may come, we'll be ready for it. And, you know, I believe I deserve to be the highest paid in my position, and just what I give to the game and the community, you know, I give it my all. You know, and I think that's worth a lot more. But you know, I would play this game for free. I love this game so much, but you don't have to. And I'm learning to be a good businessman, and you know, we need that check at the end of the day.
I mean, it would be life-changing money. You can do a lot of good with it as well.
I can't believe we are only weeks away from March Madness, and Olivia Miles is already making history at TCU, and the WNBA is watching. Olivia Miles was just named the Associated Press's Player of the Week for the first time in her career. And she's not just having a good season, she's having an outstanding season. Miles became the first player in TCU program history to win the Big 12 Player of the Week. And get this, it didn't happen once, it didn't happen twice. She won it 4 times in a single season. She dropped a historic 40 points just a few days ago when TCU played Baylor in Waco. Listen to this, because I had to go pull some stats for you. For the week, she averaged 26 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2.5 steals. Average. This isn't just college overall dominance, right? Let's zoom out a little bit, because ESPN's 2026 WNBA mock draft has her going as the number 3 overall pick. And if that does happen, that means she'll be playing for the Seattle Storm. Now, if you don't know, Olivia Miles could have went pro last year in 2025, but she says she decided to stay another year to build her game, her skills, and her confidence. And honestly, I feel like it's safe to say that bet is paying off.
Now to some stories that we know you'll be talking about over the weekend. Did you know that Texas is about to get its first White Castle? Yeah, we just got an update on construction, and our 10 o'clock team took some time to react to those iconic steamed sliders.
Tonight, North Texas is one step closer to enjoying a late-night staple. White Castle is bringing its square sliders and steamed onions to town. The CEO says the permitting process is now underway in Grandscape at the Colony. And while White Castle hasn't announced an opening, He predicts it'll be a record-breaking day.
Oh, yeah. Burgers here in Texas? Of course.
White Castle.
Have you ever had a White Castle?
I haven't, but it looks delicious. I love that. Burgers and fries are probably my favorite meal.
Well, I grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Chris grew up in the Detroit area.
Midwest, man.
and there's White Castles all over the place. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Better than Brahms, you think? Because I love me a Brahms burger.
Well, I mean, White Castle. I mean, I know there's Crystal burgers here in in parts of the South, but and it's different than Crystal. You know, they're little square ones, but you better be prepared to. There's some
you
digestion.
You don't want to be on a first date.
Oh, God.
They are delicious.
Oh, no, he's not
People
kidding.
are eating dinner
Everybody
right
at
now.
home that's had a White Castle is going, amen, Pete. I've been there before.
They're known for it.
They're known for it.
They're
Oh, yeah.
delicious.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Are they high in fiber or something?
I don't know. But
I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm rolling through the drive-thru. Can you tell me the fiber content of that burger?
But
please?
I will tell you, I mean, I love White Castles. You eat a dozen of them, and in the bag, tell her if this is true.
Oh, you get like a bag. You can get like 12 of them.
You could eat 12.
They're little. They're like little.
I
burgers.
think they're starting to include toilet paper with them. Let me just do that. Let me get into this. Here we go.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. I think he's fine. I think we're good.
Now, Howie, I don't want to put too tight. Just enough so we can't. All right.
Do you want to go up to the right? All right, buddy. We got you. Get me a little closer. Yep. Behind. Yep.
All right. You got it.
I got something. Yep, we're good.
All right. Be careful, Mike.
Yep.
Go right here. Gotta cover his head now.
You ready?
Quick.
Yep.
And he goes.
UNT is facing a larger budget deficit than anyone anticipated, and the president says the cuts will be felt campus-wide. The University of North Texas was already operating under a $31 million deficit, and now that's expected to jump to $45 million. And make no mistake, officials say the pot of money is smaller, and it's going to stay that way. President Harrison Keller says there are two main causes, starting with a loss of state funding. They're losing about $32 million in the next couple fiscal years. President Trump's immigration policy is also hitting hard. He curtailed the visa system by which a lot of international students go to UNT, and they can pay up to 4 times as much as Texas residents do. UNT just unveiled a new program offering free tuition for Texas students from low-income families. Now, it'll have to find a way to fund that with far less money.
Hi everyone, we are at Hot Rides in Carrollton for today's Wednesday's Child taping. We're here with Charlie and Mitchell. Mitchell, what are we going to do today?
We're going to take this Audi R8 for a test drive.
And what are you going to show Charlie?
How the car works, how fast it is.
Awesome. Now let's come over here. Charlie told me he was beside himself and that he's nervous. Sweet kid. All right, Charlie, how do you feel?
I feel good and a little nervous.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Little nervous?
Sure.
So, Charlie, I want to ask you something. How do you want to feel in an adoptive home?
All I want from a adoptive home and all I really want is just to be loved and shown that they actually love me instead of just saying it. I want to be shown.
He wants to feel love. He wants to be shown love in an adoptive home. And we're going to help you get that, Charlie. Big smiles, y'all, and have fun.
You too.
It's a big ego thing. Everybody comes up to you later and says, "Hey, aren't you the guy that's running around with no clothes on?" And you say, "Well, yeah, you know."
It's called streaking, and as the name implies, the object of this new sport is to streak from one end of campus to another, wearing nothing more than a smile. The challenge? Not getting caught by campus police. This new sport is drawing bigger crowds at SMU than some of the home basketball games. Over 500 students gathered in the freshman quad last evening just to witness the event. Why are students burying their bodies in growing numbers with the risk of possible expulsion?
It's mainly just a big excitement thing. You're sitting around, you get a little crazy, and you just say, hey, let's just go run around, you know.
And finally, we hope you will join us for our morning show's brand new refresh. We've got a new look and a new team, Matt Howerton and Dia Wall. So as we let you go, here's Dia talking about what WFAA means to her.
We are going to go on a gondola ride. It's just a really great way to see our city.
Watching Channel 8, seeing the impression it made on you, what's it like to have the turn of your own, to just try and make an impression on folks before they head out the door?
You know, that's a privilege, Matt, that I do not take for granted. I think a lot of times people will look and say, oh my gosh, you have this like sparkly and glamorous and public job, and I see it as a responsibility.
First time in a gondola. Watch Daybreak on Monday.